So tell me, uncle, what were the main challenges faced during making this whole layout?
Well, the biggest challenge was the fact that nobody in these parts has this hobby. So there's no supporting infrastructure of any kind, be it for repairs, be it for sourcing parts, be it for getting ideas, be it for getting advice on how to, resurrect such an old train set.
Yeah,
So that was the biggest challenge I faced. And
yeah,
the second biggest challenge was, I think, seriously underestimating the amount of space required.
yeah.
Spaces, as you know, is a premium, and it's, everybody would like to preserve their main rooms for other things. So I got a very small space allotted to me, and I feel very bad because it has created a lot of hurdles in building the.
Okay. So tell me, what are the main features about this layout? As I saw it, it is quite amazing. It has like three trains running at the same time. But what else are the main features?
The main feature I feel that I'm very proud of doing is that using certain natural materials for the scenery,
Okay.
such as the rock for
Rock.
the mountains.
Yeah.
The base of the mountain is pure rock.
Mm.
The waterfall is twin track. It's not only got stuff from woodland scenic, which is what normally people do in their sets, but we've actually got a running water circuit beneath this plastic,
Yeah.
clear plastic, so that there's actual water running through the waterfall and the water body, which I'm very proud of. And we use other raw materials which are locally available, like tree bark for the railway gradient embankments and stones for various parts of the set. So that's the first thing I think I'm very. I think the feature is most important feature. Second is the use, because of we wanted to do so many things in such a small board. We have used huge gradients which have posed quite a big challenge engineering wise,
Yeah.
both for the engine and for the track layout.
Mm.
So these are the two most unique features I would feel of this set.
Okay. So, well, I know that it took you some time to build this, around 1 year, I guess.
No, I think I must say I'm very proud to say that in spite of the downtime for waiting for parts from the UK, we still managed to do it in 7 months.
Oh, 7 months. So, during these 7 months, what were the most exciting experiences or moments you had with this track?
Well, first is the fact that I had a very low inventory of parts,
Yeah.
and getting them from outside wasn't so simple. So I had to resurrect or repair a lot of my stuff, which is at least 60 years old, if not more.
60 years.
So that was the most exciting
Mm.
experience. Second is that all the ideas and designs and everything I had to come up with my own. I had nobody to interact to get these ideas. I did surfing on the net. I did see what other people were doing, but very largely the innovation came from within.
Yeah.
And I took a chance that it would work, and it has worked.
Yeah. And
And
that can
yes,
be seen.
and of course the other thing which I kept on telling you is that I've used rock, wood bark,
Yeah.
stones, water. Try to
Mm.
use natural materials as far as possible
Yeah.
to give it a more lifelike uh, experience.
Yeah. So, while building this whole layout, laying out this, uh, what were your feelings about the track? And how did you feel while doing all that work?
See, for the first part was that every time you tried to do some repairs, you'd find out sooner or later that you didn't have all the requisite tools for it. So there's always start and stop, start and stop. You're doing some repairs, then you find you need a certain tool, then you go out and get the tool for it, then you carry on, then you find another tool is required. So, I'm afraid I didn't plan it as well as I should have, otherwise I could have cut the downtime, the time
Yes.
taken by at least a month or 2 months.
Okay.
I started off very amateurishly.
Okay. Hmm.
So that was I think in hindsight, if I were to do it again, I'd do it much more professionally.
Okay. And while paying attention to the details, while drawing the details of the whole layout, what were your feelings about that? Like paying attention to a lot of detail, like grass and all that.
Well, I must say my training and my education as an engineer stood me in good stead, because in engineering we believe that the devil is in the details. So we are all used to looking at the details very deeply. So it was quite easy to conceive of something in your mind down to the most intricate details. So when you actually went to build it, you were prepared for everything, and you could see it in your mind's eye. It wasn't difficult to do.
Okay. And last but not the least, I would like to ask you, if you were to make all this layout once more, what would be the things that you would not do, or would you pay more attention to, or
Well,
something like
I have
that?
my answer very clear on that. First thing I would do is I would fight with my wife to be allocated larger space. I think that it all hinge on that. I wouldn't start it if I was not given space considerably larger than what was allotted to me this time.
Yeah.
And the second thing is, since it was be a larger space, I would collect a lot more parts before I started the project than I did today.
Okay. So, was finding all these parts difficult, or?
It was not easy because if you go to the net to see,
Hmm.
you find out there's huge variation of price, huge variation of service levels, and you don't know anybody. Even if you're a member of the forum, nobody's going to tell you anything about a certain supplier being good or bad. A lot
Yes.
of it is by intuition and by experience. I was very lucky that I had very few bad experiences. Most of the people I interacted with all turned out to be excellent.
Yeah.
But I do believe I was lucky,
Hmm.
and there are a lot less good people around outside than needed. So
Okay.
you have to be very lucky to be able to, you know, do something without a lot of wastage and
Yeah.
expense.
Okay. And one last thing, can you tell me the category of railways in which it falls? Like you have to.
Well, yes, I think this is the cream of the railways. It is not only Hornby Dublo, which and my set is pure steel, iron, no wood, no plastic. Forget about paper. Everything is made of wood and steel, which is very satisfying. Gives you something to hold on to. And this is three rail, which is the really it's got some antique value. Of course, it's a pain in the neck to maintain. It's very difficult to keep it clean in a place like India. There's a lot of sulfur dioxide in the air. It's very difficult to run these things trouble free, but
Yeah.
it's very rewarding because it's like running an old Rolls Royce versus a new one. I'd rather run an old Rolls Royce than a
Yeah.
new one any day of the week.
Hmm. So that's it, and thank you for this
Well,
lovely
thank you
interview.
so much for not only interviewing me, asking my thoughts, but also viewers. The videos have been made by young Kanavia,
Thank
and I'm deeply indebted to him for taking the time out and using his knowledge to be able to do something I wouldn't have been able to do.
you. Hmm.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Kanav.
Thank you. Welcome.